Yeah, for now, if you are with us now, yeah, can you turn on your video camera so that faces can be seen, at least for the first part? And we want you to keep showing out your face, unless you have problems in Wi-Fi and things like that. OK。こいつだな。あ、これ持ってっても、でもこれが困るんですよね。RGB、じゃあ差し替えるか。じゃあそっち側の、じゃあこれを、はい、入れ替わるか。うん。まあ、どっちでも関係ないわ。この人たち多分。You guys can see this one, right? Too, right? OK。で、こいつを、こっちに追い出せるんだっけ。これがだから、アキラさんの方で、その、これはどっから来てんだっけ。うん。あ、いいよ。だからこれが、これが Zoom の役割して、こっちが PowerPoint になればいいんで。Right. Okay, thank you for waiting. Are we still waiting for some more to come? Or do we have most of the students? 大竹先生いますみんな。Okay. Well, the time is has come, and we have to start, right? And then here we have a lecturer for the lecture 7, which is supposed to be the last one, right? Finally, and I will translate his lecture. So he speaks in Japanese first, and then I try to translate what he says immediately after, and then later discussions and so on, exchanging ideas can be also in the same way. So this is a first trial in this way. So let's see how it goes. Okay. So let me introduce the Mr. Suzuki-san from NGO. He's a representative of this group, and he's going to talk about the conservation of wetland and natural environment in general. And this is a different perspective. Okay, so he's really working as a in a activities, not in the government or not in academia. Okay, okay. そしたら、あきらさん、シェアをして、はい。
ズームはちゃんと見えてます。マイク入ってない。
こうして、もう一回ですね。
聞こえてます。
はい、これで、こっちを共有する。
この声も入ってる。
はい。はい、よろしいでしょうか。はい、こんにちは。日本語で言っていいのかな。はい、今紹介してもらいましたけれども、NGO で湿地の保全と利活用を進めている、ちょうどこの、宮島沼に皆さん行かれたと思いますけども、この 周辺ですね。石狩の周辺の湿地の保全をしています。石狩川流域湿地水辺海岸ネットワーク代表の鈴木と申します。
So I'm a representative of this NGO, and we're working to conserve the wetland areas in this region. And you've been to Miyajima Numa, so you know how it look like.
はい、ここの周辺ではもう湿地がほとんどなくなってしまったんですけれども、そこでですね、多くの人に、湿地のことを知ってもらうということを中心に、保全活動を進めているので、その話を、20分ほど聞いてほしいなと、30分くらいかな、思っております。
Most of the wetlands have been already lost from this area, but we are trying to work hard to increase the awareness level of people about the wetlands in general.
はい、この、表紙にあるようにですね、もちろんこういう湿地の、生物の調査とか保全もしてますけれども、ここにあるマスコット、こう湿地の、生き物ですけども、こう生き物のマスコットを作ったりですね、こう音楽の演奏をしてますけれども、湿地の歌を作ってもらって、演奏会をしたりとか、いろいろちょっと、別の、知らない湿地に興味のない人に知ってもらうための活動を、たくさん行っているところです。
So not only activities like monitoring of environment, we are working also on various projects, including the music, creating, composing a music for wetland, and to help people to raise their awareness for the wetland.
はい。で、湿地の、生態系サービスについてちょっと一度おさらいをしておきたいと思うんですけども、調整サービスですね。これは、今ここに洪水の写真が載ってますけれども、洪水の調整ですとか、水質の浄化、気候の調整、CO2 の吸収という、役割があります。
Okay, so the ecosystem service of the wetland, as you know, regulating service like flood control, water purification, and also the CO2 sequestration.
で、供給サービスとして、ここに、ホッキ貝が載ってますけど、美味しい、食料を、湿地があるおかげで得ることができますし、あとここに生活材料と書いてますけれども、この後少しワークショップの紹介をしますが、しめ縄ですとか、アイヌ文化のゴザなんかを、得ることができます。
Some provisioning services like food can be obtained, and also provide some materials for daily life. Later, this is going to be also explained.
そして文化的サービスとしてですね、湿地の風景は美しい、湿地に行かれた方どれぐらいいるかわからないんですけれども、美しい景観と、そしてここに今親子が、歩いていますけれども、レクリエーションなどの役割があります。
So of course, cultural services, beautiful landscapes, and like hiking, you can get to watch the nice landscape in wetlands.
はい、そしてですね、基盤サービスとして、さまざまな生物の生息環境を提供しているわけですけれども、今、釧路湿原にたくさんいるタンチョウが今、新しく、作られた湿地である遊水地に今、飛んできているわけですね。はい。
And supporting service such as habitat for wildlife, and then the picture shows the Japanese crane, a very important species, and they fly to our wetlands as well.
はい、そしてこの石狩のですね、この辺石狩というんですけれども、この低地帯にですね、湿原が広々と広がっていたということがかつてあったそうです。
So once upon a time, we probably had this kind of environment, as you see in this slide.
ところがですね、これ、最近の、写真なんですけれども、このようにですね、湿地はどんどん埋め立てられて、ほとんど、なくなってしまいました。
So most of the wetlands have been lost. This is example being filled up by human activity. So,
はい、どのぐらいの湿地があったかというのをちょっと、お知らせしようと思って出したんですけれども、釧路湿原が北海道では、大きな湿原として有名で国立公園になってますけれども、この釧路湿原がこの青いハッチの部分ですね。そして、道北のですね、北海道の北の方のサロベツ湿原。ここが、これぐらいの面積、6000ヘクタールです。 で、石狩にあった湿原はですね、この発地にある5万5000ヘクタールあったと言われています。
So the left-hand side is the Ishikari original area of wetland. The right-hand panel shows the other wetlands in Hokkaido. One is in the lower is Kushiro, a marsh, which is also famous, well known. It's still preserved.
で、この石狩大湿原が、あったと言われてるんですけども、150年ぐらい前の、これ地図ですね。この青い部分が湿地だった部分で、このぐねぐね曲がっている、ちょっと濃い青の部分が石狩川です。
This is 150 years ago, the condition of the area, and the blue area is basically the wetland, and then blue meandering line shows the former original channel of Ishikari River.
で、これが今から、60年ちょっと前ですけれども、このように黄色く変わってますが、これ畑になってしまう、畑にした部分ですね、開発によって。そして河川もですね、石狩川もこのように、少しまっすぐに、したんですね、このように変わりました。
And 60 years ago, the second panel, and then the brown yellow area is all the farm agricultural land. So most of the wetlands are lost, and then also the channel has been shortened.
で、今はですね、石狩川は100キロ、縮まりですね。要はこうショートカットで100キロ減りですね。そして、ほとんど湿地が見られなくなりました。湿地自体は、0.1% に減りました。
Okay, so the river length, total length has been shortened by 100 kilometers, and then also only the 0.1% of original wetland has remained now.
で、私たちですね、NGO ではですね、この湿地を今少しだけ残っている、その 0.1% 残った湿地を少しでも長く、残してですね、できれば少し増やしてですね、そしてそれとともにその文化も未来に残していこうというふうに考えています。
So we think it's really important to preserve this remaining 0.1% of original wetland. Also, then the sustainably utilize it and then pass it along to the future generations.
で、その守る活動をしている市民団体ですね、それから、一般の市民ですとか企業とのネットワークを築くということをしています。
So one of the most important thing is the establishing networks among the private sectors and also general publics and also the other NGO groups.
そのことによって、湿地をですね、保全して、あるいは再生して、ここで研究、あるいは持続的な利活用を推進しようとしています。
So we think by this way we can continue do some research and also promote the restoration and the conservation of the remaining wetlands.
ですると地域社会とですね、この後、その話になっていくんですけども、今日の課題にもなりますけれども、地域社会から切り離されてしまっているので、湿地がですね、地域社会とのパートナーシップというものを通してですね、地域自体も活性化していきたいと。で、それを湿地を中心にですね、行っていきたいというふうに考えています。
And also we consider the fundamental challenge, very important challenge is we've lost the linkages between the people and the wetlands. So we are trying to develop this or restore those associations so that this goal can be accomplished at the end.
はい、ちょっとここは。この後説明することがくどくど書いてますので、お話していきたいと思います。はい。
So from here, by using many photos, I explain about our activities.
はい、湿地を守るため、今、活動の内容について、いくつかご紹介したいんですけれども、湿地、保全されていない湿地のですね、調査とか探索会をしている。
Do some research activities for the wetlands that are not protected yet.
それから湿地がどんどん失われていくので、そこでのレスキュー活動ですね、植物のレスキュー活動、そして、種子性植物、そういう植物がですね、いろんな形で私たちの、役に立つということで、利活用 のワークショップをしています。
So we do some rescue activities for the wetlands that are being lost, and also the working on the how to utilize the resources that are cultivated or obtained from these wetlands.
そしてですね、多くの人に湿地のことを知ってもらおうということで、映像ですとかマスコットで、を作ってですね、皆さんに、触れていただこうということをしています。
And then to increase the awareness of wetlands, we have created this kind of stuffed animal things as a mascot of our activities, and also make videos so that the people can see the values and feel the values as well.
で、フォーラムとかフェスタを開いてですね、多くの人に来てもらったところで、先ほど少しだけお話ししましたけど、歌を聞いてもらったりとか、落語を聞いてもらったりとかですね、湿地に触れてもらうと。湿地自体に触れてもらうのも一緒にやるんですけれども、湿地に関わることで、楽しく過ごしていただくということをしています。
Okay, so we also arrange various activities like festivals and stuff. So in addition to for the local people or people to physically go visit the wetlands, enjoy, we try to let them to enjoy those or know values indirectly by the videos and those festivals.
ちょっと詳しくいくつか紹介したいんですけれども、この石狩川流域ですね、この青いラインが石狩川ですけれども、このピンク色のエリアがもともと湿地があった、泥炭があるエリアなんですけれども、ここのですね、いろんなところ、いくつも細かく湿地が残っていまして、それを探索して歩くということを毎年やっているので、これさっとどこでやったかっていうのを紹介したいんですが、
So pink area shows the distribution of peatland. So every year we do take a tour to those areas to find out the unknown wetlands, and yes.
はい。ちなみに今いるあたりはこのあたりですかね。
So that's where we are right now.
はい。このように点々とですね、今もう先ほどお見せしたように畑になったり宅地になったりしているので、もう点でこうちょこちょこっと残っているところを、調査してるんですね。
So these are the areas that we found still have some remaining portion, and then but really fragmented. It's really the points rather than the area superficial areas across the vast area.
はい、これが2017年の調査地で、
This is a 2017 year survey point.
これ2018年、
2018
で2019年ですね。
and 2019.
はい。で、ここでどんなふうなことをしているかというとですね、要は畑があって、ちょっと荒れたエリアがあって、その中にひっそりと、湿地が残ってたり残ってなかったりするところに入っていくんですけども、そういうところに入っていって、実際湿地があるかどうかを、探索しています。このように、湿地特有の植物が、見られたり、しています。
So I'm actually plant ecologist, and we go there, and then it's hard to find them. But by looking at the species there, we can find out the evidence of wetlands, and that's how we judge the presence of wetland environment.
はい。で、場合によってはですね、このようにソーラー発電の、施設が、できてしまっているところも、見つけることがあります。
Okay. In some places, like this case, we found the mega solar plants established nearby the sites where we are trying to find out the remnant of the wetland.
昨年はですね、ソーラー発電の、工事が始まりそうなところを見つけてですね、発電の業者と交渉して、工事のエリアを少し、変えていただいたこともあります。
So last year, we actually found this is ongoing, and then we negotiated with the contractor, and then made some changes in planning to conserve some portion of the wetland environment.
その中でもですね、今まさにどんどん壊されている、札幌市内の湿地がありまして、そこはこのような、状況で土がどんどん、業者によって、運ばれて埋められている状況が見られます。
So this is one like a destruction is ongoing right now in Sapporo City, and so as you can see, the wetland has been really being filled up right now.
ここはですね、少しお話しすると、この看板が立っているところなんかは、その保全している、団体がですね、トラスト活動で土地を取得しているところなんですけども、それにもかかわらずですね、この周りを埋められているという状況ですね。
One the lower right hand side, you see the sign post, and then this is a preserved area purchased managed by the organization, but the surrounding of it is completely destroyed.
この件に関してはですね、裁判で争ったんですが、最高裁で負けています。
Okay, so actually we make a lawsuit about it, but we lost it in a court about this issue.
そこでですね、ここからは、どんどん、湿地がなくなっていくので、植物をですね、レスキューしています。
So here's a rescue activity of plants from
はい、このように、わずかに残っている湿生植物をですね、掘り取って、そして今、湿地の再生事業をしているところに持って行っています。
So take out the remaining plants adapted to the environment and then transplant to the other area where the restoration of the wetland is underway.
そして次の、活動ですけれども、映像とかマスコットで、要は今までの活動は割とマニアなですね、湿地大好きな人がする活動なんですけれど、一緒にやる活動なんですが、ここからは湿地って何みたいな、湿地なんかいらないんじゃないって思ってる人に少しでも湿地の魅力を伝えるための、活動を紹介したいと思います。一つ目にあるのはこれ、あとちょこっと見れると思いますけど、ムービーの制作ですね。はい。
Okay, so from here, the different kinds of activity, and so some people they actually don't really know the value of wetlands and at all. So these activities, such as movie makings, are those for those people to have a slightly increased level of awareness about the wetlands.
で、その中でもですね、湿地の、話をですね、吉本芸人ですね、コメディアンに話してもらうという映像も作っています。
So this is a comedians from famous company, I mean a group, and then they even made to this happen by YouTube かなこれはね uploaded some movies about those things.
はい、次の人形劇ですね。人形劇も作って映
So
像を配信してます。
なんかこの art activities also been produced.
Yes, yes. あと、落語ですね。皆さんご存知かどうか分かりませんが、落語。あと、パフォーマンス。
This is a kind of performance in Japanese culture. So in this ways also it's been disseminated.
はい、トークショーですね。
A talk show by some well-known people, probably, including himself.
はい。これなんかかかるようになってるのか、これ。あ、これちょっと映像、動くかな、これ。動かさない方がいいかな。これ、美媒湿原、宮島沼のそばの一番この辺で大きい湿地なんですけども、そこの映像ですね。
This is a Bibai wetland. It's one of the largest remaining near Miyajima Numa. Just to give a overview.
はい。ちょっとこれはいいや。はい。なんでここ開いてんだ。はい、マスコットですね。こんな、編み物で作ったもので、 これは実は東日本大震災の被災地で、避難したおばあちゃんたちに作ってもらってるんですけれども、はい、このようなもので、可愛いっていうところからですね、湿地の魅力を伝えていこうと目論んでいます。
This is hand-woven products from people in public, and then this helps people think that attract the attention about the wetlands.
次にですね、湿地の植物が役に立つよ、美味しいよとかね、いろいろ使えるよっていう、もともとそのようなことをしていたんですけれども、今、あまりしなくなった、湿地もなくなったし、そういう文化自体が、なくなってしまったので、それを改めて、やろうということで、これは皮脂という不要植物ですね。はい。
So some plants in wetlands been used for the usage of the daily life, so we are also promoting to make these available to remember the value of wetlands. And this is one of the floating plants in water.
はい。で、これを、今これはその写真は撮っているところですけれども、これを食べるというイベントにたくさんの人参加してもらって、実際、美味しいねって言って、美味しさを感じてもらうイベントなんかもやっています。
Okay, so this is the very tradition in Ainu people, indigenous people, and then we do arrange this event in which people come together and then cook and eat it.
はい、実際、アイヌの方に来ていただいて、料理の指導をしてもらっています。
Yeah, so we invite Ainu lecturer, teacher, and then she in this case, I think, can tell people how to cook and eat and
で、その時アイヌ文化のね、紹介もしてもらって、歌とか踊りとかも一緒に楽しみました。
Also, not only food, but the Ainu cultural things like dancing and singing was also shared among participants.
そして、食べ物じゃないんですけども、工芸品といいますか、アイヌ文化の中に残っているさまざまなものも、湿地で採れた植物から、作られているものがあるので、これガマという植物なんですけども、これでゴザ作りというのを体験しました。
Okay, so this is also made of plants, gama, and then part of the Ainu culture. So this material has been made out of plants that we harvest by the water bodies.
この、写真は採取しているところの写真ですね。これを秋に採取して、乾燥させます。
So in the fall, autumn season, we harvest it and then dry them up.
これもですね、アイヌ文化を伝えている先生に来てもらって、一緒にですね、生息地である湿地を観察して、これ冬12月だったかな、冬になってからなんですけども、そして、室内でですね、乾燥したガマを使って編み始めるということをしました。
So we invited the lecturer again. This is again a part of the Ainu culture. So we went there together to see how the habitat look like, and then harvest and dry and make it.
おっと。
Oh, okay. Me? Okay, I'm sorry. All right. So this shows lecture was also provided by the Ainu person and or someone who is knowledgeable about it. We went to the habitat of the plants and then did all the processing and
こんなものができますね。今日持ってくればよかったな。はい。はい。
yes, this is how it becomes like at the end.
はい。そして今度は日本の文化になるんですけども、しめ縄ですね。これはスゲという植物で作られているものがあります。
Okay, so this is a Japanese culture, and then you see this in the shrine, and then it's also made of wetland plants.
はい。スゲをですね、なうっていうんですけども、はい、なっていくというのを体験しました。
Suge wa seji kana, seji in English. So kind of weave it and then make like look like a rope and then like yes, produce things like this.
はい、今、神社でですね、このしめ縄を見て歩いてるとですね、半分以上のものが石油製品になってしまっているんですけれども、それは多分、すげとかですね、稲わらも使うんですけども、それ自体がなかなか、採取が難しくなったことと、それを伝える人、なう人がいなくなってしまっているということによって、石油の製品が使われているという状況なので、少しでも元に戻したいなと思っています。
Okay, about 50% of this shrine, I mean ropes things in front of shrines that are made by synthetic materials from petroleum, basically. But the reason for it is partially is we cannot really get the materials for making, and also losing people who can teach how to make those things.
はい、みんなでこうやってなって、正月に家庭で飾るしめ縄をみんなで作りました。
Like also like things like this, we put in front of our house in New Year days.
このようなものはホームセンターなどでいつも売っているんですけれども、見るとほとんどが中国製です。
We see these things also in home shopping centers, but almost all of them are made in China nowadays.
そして次、音楽ですね。七の歌を作ってもらって、演奏してもらったりしています。
Music festival.
鳥も獣も人も安心なのさ、いくよ。七まったんだよ。渡り鳥が教えてくれた。そもそも七がなけりゃ稲作だってこの島に始まらなかった、きっとそうだろう。いきますよ。七まったんだよ。渡り鳥が教えてくれた。昔はいっぱい
この歌ってる人は小学校の先生で、自らも自然を守る活動とかをしている先生。
The person is singing is a teacher, school teacher, and he's also involved in activities. But so I cannot translate all the songs, but this song is really about the values of wetlands.
こんなことをですね、フェスタとかフォーラムのたびに演奏
俺
してもら
の
ったりして
心は七冊ポンジのように
So
君の涙も吸い取り洪水
the
防
thing
ぐ
is arranged many times at events, like festivals
渡り鳥が
and
教えて
forums.
くれた。
はい。そこで今、私たちが考えている湿地の課題なんですけれども、今までの活動の中で、もう少しずつお話ししましたが、湿地は価値がないと思われています。最初のところで、生態系サービスのお話ししましたけれども、それがあまり理解されてなかったり、もうすでに、例えばしめ縄とかも中国産のものをホームセンターで買うというようなことに変わってしまったので、湿地自体に価値がないと思われていることから、湿地がどんどん、破壊されているという現状があります。
So this is how we consider a challenge in protecting wetlands. How this so people think that the wetlands that don't have so much values in it. And then one evidence, and then also the people nowadays buy those products that were once made from materials from wetlands, but people consider they can buy bought at those supermarkets. So we have lost the association between the wetlands values and our life.
ありがとう。この写真ですけれども、この湿地、先ほど紹介した湿地ですけれども、レスキュー活動をしてるんですが、後ろでこうどんどん土が、押されて、湿地が通されている、まさにその現場ですけれども。はい。
Okay, so this picture shows the in front the nice picture, the saving rescuing plants, but the behind the background is the you see the soil being mounded. So that's how I mean it's now underway. The destruction of the wetland is really underway. That's how this picture appears.
笑ってる状況じゃありません。
It's not really the time for them to like smile and then it's not a happy mood at all.
はい。で、ここも湿地を守っているグループがいるんですけれども、そういうグループはですね、高齢化も進んでいますし、担い手も、そういうこともあって不足しています。そして、いい
So there are groups trying to save the wetlands, but the aging is ongoing. So it needs to be changed somehow. Otherwise, the activity itself cannot be sustained.
そして、寄付金とかで活動してるんですが、そのお金も、不足しているという状況にあります。
So our activities are supported by like, donations and then some yes, but there's always problem is a lack of financial resources to maintain these activities.
ということがあって、湿地を守る活動の継続が非常に困難な状況にあって、どんどんこのままですね、消失が進むという状況にあります。
So we are doing some activities to save wetlands, but it's so difficult. It becomes even more difficult to maintain these activities, and so therefore, at the end, we think that this is going to be lead to the disappearance of all the wetlands from the area.
はい、まさに笑ってる場合じゃない状況なんですが、そこで、この湿地をですね、残していくために、何ができるかな。特に今の人と金の問題、そしてみんなに知ってもらっていないという、湿地は価値がないと思われていることについて、我々もいろんな手立てを講じてるんですけども、どんなアイデア、もっといいアイデアがあるとか、ここのところをこうしていったらいいんじゃないかっていうようなことを、皆さんに考えていただきたいと思います。
So big question. And this is a question to you, for you to discuss after this, is how can we maintain these activities? So we are facing the lack of human resources and also financial resources. So what can we do? What can be done? So I need to hear from you about your original or innovative ideas about make these conservations and restoration of the wetlands sustained, and then increase also the raising awareness of the wetlands for the future usage of wetlands. So that's the discussion topic. Okay, I don't know how much I managed to tell the original story. Sorry about that. But I think the pictures are really good to tell you what he was trying to explain. So discussion, as usual, it's you would have to how much time? I would say 30 minutes for discussion. Okay, that's the maximum amount of time you have. Okay, so break into groups, not yet, okay? Okay. But the question, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, let me rephrase again. And so challenge here is the wetlands are being lost. なんかそっちマイクついてます。ちょっとマイク止めてもらっていいですか。And the aging of a group is a challenge, and basically the awareness level of people is really low, right? So therefore, it's pretty difficult to stop the disappearance of wetlands. And but we or they know what needs to be done, and the problem is the human resources and also financial resources, and people don't know much about those values. Right. So he introduced some examples, but the what we or I want to or he wants you to think is the any other ways better or similar or multiple efforts uh, that can be done to address these issues, so that he can learn from you guys. Got it? So as usual, you have 30 minutes or so, and then 2 to 3 slides, and then each group speaks about your work. Okay. So if you're okay, then just break into groups and then start discussion. Or if you have any questions right now, I'm sorry, or ask him questions, we can take it also. まだブレイクさせてない?今ブレイクさせてない?まだ。まだ移動してない。OK。ちょっと待ってね。So I'm sorry, you guys have any questions to ask him for now or to me, even about the discussion topic? If it's not clear enough, then I can try to explain more.
Me. So.
Okay.
Hello. I just curious about the collaboration between government and I'm sorry, I'm Saleha from IBB University. I'm just curious. I don't know it already explained or not, but I just curious about the collaboration between the public sector and private sector as you maintain your NGO. I mean, like, what kind of collaboration that you meet with the government, such as like funding or just make a permission to build this NGO or something like what? Because as we know that the discussion topic is very interesting because I joined NGO and then I know that the funding and also resources is the biggest problem that NGO have. So I just want to know what kind of governance support that to maintain your NGO. Thank you.
わかりました。Anybody? どこだあれなんか、コントロール効かないけど。What?
Sorry. Is it clear?
I'm not 100% clear about it. Can you rephrase it again? I'm sorry.
Okay. I just want to curious about the collaboration of government in Japan and also your NGO. I mean, like I know that funding and also resources is biggest problem that NGO face. So, what kind of governance supports to make this NGO maintaining this NGO?
You said
Government support.
Oh, support.
Yeah.
Whether it receives some government supports or not?
Yeah, and what kind of support?
Oh.
I mean, like funding or just permission or something like what that able to maintain your NGO. Thank you.
Thank you for asking. He's trying to answer. So the support, he says, basically, yes, first one is financial support. So they support by providing money to do some research and also some activities, right? And then second is when this targeted wetland is in a management area under direct control of government. So within the government regulations, they can help with what they can do. Okay, by like maintaining in a way that is necessary to be done, for example, or help some protection from the external activities. But the challenge is mostly for the areas that are outside of those most of the government's agencies. So like a private areas, for example, then the government doesn't really support physically. Maybe they provide some financial supports, but the physical or other activity support is pretty difficult because it's not under the direct control of the government system. Is that helpful?
Okay.
Mm.
Once again, if the government give money, I mean like financial support, so your activity is based on government target, or your own NGO has your own goals, or it's just based on the government target because of your financial is from NGO, it's from government. Sorry.
Whether this NGO has its own revenue?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, donation by people. それはでも助成金はまあ公的なお金。あ、企業。Okay, it's a donation by public people, and also the private sectors make also the donation. So those are and then the government provides some financial resources. So those are the financial, the basis for the activities. But it doesn't sound like they sell things by themselves and then get the money. It's not really happening.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you for asking. Well, we have a limited time.
Mr. Junjiro, you still mute
I'm
your.
sorry. Okay. Okay. So 25 minutes from now, you go to the break room. You have a counting down timer, so you have to be done within 25 minutes from now on. Okay. So please move to the groups.
Back to the
Okay, guys, time is up. You guys ready? Yeah. Okay. You guys ready? Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. So, oh my God.
俺入ってる。ごめん。
Okay, so let's start. So B, C. Let's start from group C this time.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Okay, Sensei, I will share screen.
okay.
Oh, wait. Hmm. Yeah, thank you for the attention. And in this occasion, we would like to answer in our perspective from Group C, what can be done, original innovative idea to conservation on the wetland sustainable, how can we maintain it in case wetlands being lost, that awareness people very low. The answers, there are some points that I will try and then continue with my colleague. The first educational socialization start from student, which means school to school. We can start from elementary school, that because a student, when we have a studying or start socialization or make awareness from children, make more easier when they become younger, that how the wetland on and then the conservation of environment so important. The next one, make advertisement. It's an optional in the last option, that will be collaborate with government, which is the example like made large billboards in several places voicing that wetland and environment so important and needed to movement. And the next, the third point will be explaining by Yubraj from Nepal. Yubraj, yes, please. Hello.
Thank you so much. Okay. I would like to give an example of Nepal, where community-based forest management program has been implemented and it has become a success story here in Nepal. Earlier, when deforestation was a serious issue in Nepal, Nepal implemented a program called Community Forest Management Program, CFM program, where the community nearby the forest were allowed or were made responsible for conserving the forest. It means that they were solely responsible for taking care of the forest and the resources they can recover from the forest. For this, they were divided into groups. They have secretaries, and likewise a group is formed, and they carry out all the activities that is responsible for protecting the forest. And it turned out into a great success story in Nepal. The forest deforestation gradually decreased in Nepal, And on the other hand, the communities nearby the forest, they had an opportunity to collect, to recover resources from the forest. So their livelihood become more easier than earlier. So what about doing the same for wetland? What about making the people or making the community nearby the wetland responsible for its protection, forming several groups nearby the wetland, and and allowing only these groups, the assigned group, to recover the resources from the wetland. We can use the wetland for fishing and many agriculture in many agricultural ways, in many agricultural activities. So my point is that let's make the community nearby the wetland responsible for its protection. Let's give them all the rights for its protection, and give them all the rights for consuming the resources from the wetland. I think it will make them more responsible for protecting the wetland. It is also known as the. It has been seen that it is better to go through the bottom to top approach rather than the top to bottom approach, because it has been implemented in Nepal, and it is a great success story for Nepal here in the field of deforestation. And I'm thinking of implementing the same for wetland as well.
Yeah, for the next slide will be with Will then. Hello, Will then.
Yeah, thank you, Miss
Mhm.
Bellamy, for turning the time to me to try to explain the innovative idea or uh, the activities that we can conduct in tackling these issues regarding the peatland. As we know that uh, we are facing the wetland issues, such as we know that the wetland being lost. That's why this is important to make sounding to the community, make sounding make sounding and understanding about the condition of the wetland ecology, and uh, something related such as the socio-economic, and it can be conducted by the local communities. No, it can be conducted by the communities and outsider giving information to the community, to the people that they don't know the condition about the wetland, because we know that the wetland is very important for the future. We can also make good evaluation system, or which aims to to evaluate, and which can enables to learn and adapt from the success. Yeah, I think evaluation system, a community based monitoring and evaluation system can be good one of innovation idea to can that can be tackled. And the third one is management intervention, which balance ecosystem functions and human needs. And then incentive, which encourage the maintenance of the ecosystem services. Then we can also make negotiations to negotiate the local rules and bylaws, which discourage unsustainable the use of the wetlands. And we can also make another innovation, such as giving facilitations of land user or communities, which ensure an inclusive consensus-based planning and management process. And another another innovation can be done also by the agreed upon and functional institutional arrangement, which facilitate and regulate sustainable wetland utilization and conservation. That I can try to explain the innovation idea on my perspective. So it can continue to my colleague, Mr. Yosuke or Miss Wu, please.
Oh, okay, it's for me. So my opinion is almost the same as Mr. Ibaraki, and I think it's important to communicate with the community nearby the wetland, and for protecting the wetlands by the community nearby the wetland, I think it is. It's important to making the guideline or something to by the experts to save the wetland to easy understanding some way to saving the wetland for local people, I think. And the next Miss Wu.
Okay. Yeah, I think the students from university can do a lot for the wetland because they are easy to get the information of the wetland and have time to take part in the events. In addition, they are young and have patience. For example, the students who study on the wetland can take place the events to explain their research and make it easy for people to understand. It takes the interest of public to protect the wetland. So I think maybe it's one of the way to solve the aging problem in the group of wetland protection. Yeah, that's all discussion about our group C. Thank you.
なんかあります Okay, thank you. One question for the Yuvraj.